guys, Coop here. Had quite a few people want me to do a tutorial on how to make the iPhone camera mount, and it's fairly simple. I use Schedule 40 PVC. This just happens to be a piece of 3/4 inch. You don't need 3/4 inch. You can use 1/2 inch or 1 inch, just as long as it's Schedule 40. That's all you need to know. And I cut this particular one here. Where's my? There it is. I cut this particular piece, about 7 inches is how long I cut this one. And the reason I cut it 7 inches, because you're going to need a good, fumble hands today. Chuck, that one's for you, buddy. I cut this one, we're going to have about 1.5 inch lip, so you can mount your cap to it. Alright guys, about the only thing you're going to need is your piece of PVC, a 1/4 inch bolt with a 1/4 inch nut, and a heat gun. And we'll get on with it. I put it up on high and just get it till it's warm. Now if you guys don't have a heat gun, you can use a toaster oven or your oven in the house set on 210 degrees. And you just want it in there just long enough to get it soft. Once you have it soft, I just take another piece of board, lay down on it, and I hold it down until it cools. Once it cools, it'll cool into a nice flat piece. Now if you guys want to speed it up, you can always have a bucket of water and dunk it in the water, and it'll speed up the cooling process. But it doesn't take but just about a minute or so for it to cool down enough to where it'll keep its shape. Alright guys, there you go. This still isn't completely all the way cooled, but it's cooled enough to where it's not gonna bow back up on you. Alright guys, here we go. Nice flat piece of PVC. Now what I'm going to do is this one here, I made it about 3/4 of an inch wide. I thought that was pretty good thickness, width wise, to keep it from keep it sturdy. So what I'm going to do guys is I'm going to take this piece here and I'm going to mark it in a 3/4 inch, and then I'm going to cut it down. So I'll get back with you guys here in a few minutes. Alright guys, I've got my piece cut down to 3/4 of an inch. Now I'm just going to throw it on my belt sander to straighten it out. You guys don't have to use a belt sander. You can always just put a piece of sandpaper down on a flat surface and sand it on both sides, and that will even it up. I'm going to use this because this is a little quicker. And I'm also going to round off the top pieces, which then again you can use a file or you can use sandpaper to round these edges. You don't have to have a belt sander. Alright guys, as you can see, I've got the ends rounded off. You don't have to round them off. I round them off because I like to. I don't like any sharp edges. Alright guys, well, let's get on over here. Just bear with me. Alright guys, I've got her all cut down, got her shaped out the way I want it shaped, and now we're going to heat it. And first thing I want to tell you is, if you don't have just an old otter box, try and make you a piece of wood. Try and use some kind of wood to get a basic shape of your phone. Now you don't have to do the whole phone. You just have to do, the width and maybe about that much of it. Just something so you have something to work with, because you don't necessarily want to try and put this hot plastic or PVC on your phone. I just happen to have an empty spare case. And if you guys will just bear with me a minute, I'm going to find my gloves and we're going to get started. Alright guys, found my gloves. Now you guys, you want to use gloves because this stuff is going to get hot. It's not going to get too terribly hot, but it is going to get hot, and you're going to want to wear gloves. Alright guys, so what we're going to do is we're going to take the heat gun again. We're going to heat up, I'm just going to heat up just the tip of it up here so I can form it around the otter box. And when you start seeing that thing start curling up on you, you know it's hot enough. You don't need it extremely hot. You just need it hot enough to where you can bend it. There, see how it's starting to curl up? Now it's ready to go. So what we're going to do, we're going to take it, bend it just around the top of it just a little. We're just going to hold it there. This is where your gloves come in, guys. You have to have these gloves or it's going to burn you. And we just hold it there just long enough for it to cool down. And once it cools down, we'll have the top part of it done. Now if you guys want to speed this up, you can always dunk it in some water, and the water will cool it really quick. But it doesn't take very long for this PVC to cool down. Alright. As you can see, nicely rounded. Now like I said, you can do this in an oven, but it is a lot more effective if you go down and you buy you a $13 heat gun at Harbor Freight or wherever you can find them. I bought this one at Harbor Freight. I think it was $12.99, $13.99, but that's the top bend on it. The reason I like the heat gun is you don't have to heat the whole thing. You can just heat the pieces you need to bend. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop that puppy on there and kind of figure out, take my marker where my next bend is going to be. My next bend is going to be right about here somewhere. So that'll give me an idea of where I got to apply the heat. Because I don't want to warp what I've already got done, so I'll apply the heat in just this area. Alright, she's already ready to go. And I just pop this in the top and pull that puppy on around. I try and keep it straight. Kind of look at the back of it. Everything on the back's nice and straight. And like I said, this stuff is hot, guys, so wear gloves. And now we have it molded like so. Now this part here, you're going to want to do it just like you did on the top, you know. So what we're going to do is we're going to come to right about here, and this is where we're going to heat to pull this back over. Alright, she's starting to bow back out. There. Now she's cool. And at this point you can still manipulate it a little bit by, you know, bending it up, bending it down, whichever you prefer. But that's the basic gist of it, guys. And we'll check it here in just a second to see how she fits. And there it is. She's all nice and snug. Alright guys, next thing we're going to do, drill the hole. I've already got my drill press set up. Just going to take it down on there. Turn the drill on. Try and get it right in the center, guys. And there it is. Hole's drilled. Now all we have to do is take a cap. Alright guys, now all we got to do is just take a cap. I'm using a 3/4 inch cap. Just going to turn the old drill on. Drill right down through the center of it. And there you go. Now, we just take a bolt the two together. Alright guys, now that we've got our cap drilled, we've got our spring mount drilled, we just take the old bolt, put down through there. Alright, we got her started. Yes. Now guys, you're going to have to fine tune this a little bit with your sandpaper or your Dremel or whatever you use. You know, it's not going to be perfect right off the bat. You might have to sand a little bit in here, clean it up a little bit, you know, but you get the idea. This is the basic gist of this mount right here. As you can see, just a 3/4 inch cap, and you don't have to use this because once this hole is drilled, you can use this with a regular tripod. Okay, I just use the 3/4 inch cap because, as you guys know, I make all my Swampo pods and they're all made out of 3/4 inch PVC. Anyway guys, I hope this was helpful. You guys want to put your comments and questions down below, I'll be more than happy to answer them. I appreciate your support, appreciate you watching my channel, means a lot to me. If you guys want to go over and check out the Facebook page, the link to that will be down below. If you don't want to hit the like button, you just wasted a couple minutes of your time. And with all that being said, my friends, old Coop's pretty much going to say, Coop out.